in a world where cinema reigns supreme. Join us on an epic journey through the silver screen. Welcome to What's New with Stu, a movie review, with your host Dave Stewart, a video podcast where every frame tells a story. Get ready for insights, laughs, and film debates. From blockbusters to hidden gems, we've got it all covered. Lights, camera, action. It's time for What's New with Stu, a movie review. And now your host, David F. Stewart.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Those must be comfortable shoes. I bet you could walk all day in shoes like that and not feel a thing. I bet if I think about it real hard, I could remember my first pair of shoes. Mama said they'd take me anywhere.
In the immortal words of the late great Ben Hill, good evening, viewers. Good evening, all. Welcome to another episode of What's New with Stu, a movie review. I'm your host, Dave Stewart, and in this episode, we're going to talk about one of my favorite films of all time, a movie that's really so popular that I almost thought about not doing a review on it, but I wanted to talk about it anyway, and that's 1994, the classic Forrest Gump, directed by Robert Zemeckis and starring the great Tom Hanks, one of the most popular actors of all time.
Who in the hell is that?
That there's Forrest Gump, Coach. Just a local idiot.
And can you believe it? I got to go to college too.
Now, also in this film, we got Gary Sinise, who was nominated for Best Supporting Actor, and Sally Field, who played his mother. By the way, I think in real life, Sally Field was only like 7 years older than Tom Hanks, ironically playing his mother. When I saw the movie, it was the time that Forrest Gump and Pulp Fiction had both come out, and they were both fighting for Best Picture. It was a great year for a movie. And Shawshank came out that year. Just an unbelievable year for films. And I just remember going to the movie theater at least 4 or 5 times to see this with different people.
Go! What's your sole purpose in this army?
To do whatever you tell me, Drill Sergeant?
God damn it, Gump! You're a goddamn genius. That's the most outstanding answer I've ever heard. You must have a goddamn IQ of 160. You are goddamn gifted, Private Gump. Listen up, people.
Now, for some reason, I fit in the army like one of them round pegs. It's not really hard. You just make your bed real neat and remember to stand up straight and always answer every question with, "Yes, Drill Sergeant."
Is that clear?
Yes, Drill Sergeant!
I thought it had everything. It had laughs.
Listen, I'm in the bumper sticker business, and I've been trying to think of a good slogan. And since you have been such a big inspiration to the people around here, I thought you might be able to help me jump into. Whoa, man! You just ran through a big pile of dog shit.
It happens
What shit?
sometimes. And some years later, I heard that fella did come up with a bumper sticker slogan, and he made a lot of money off of it.
It had times you were going to cry.
Bubba said something I won't ever forget.
I want to go home.
Bubba was my best good friend. And even I know that ain't something you can find just around the corner. Bubba was gonna be a shrimp and boat captain, but instead he died right there by that river in Vietnam.
It was a fantasy a lot of the times.
I understand you were wounded. Where were you hit?
in the buttocks, sir.
Oh, that must be a sight. I'd kind of like to see that. God damn, son.
Of course, great special effects. The idea of putting Forrest Gump in the same room with John F. Kennedy or Richard Nixon or John Lennon.
In the land of China, people hardly got nothing at all.
No possessions?
And in China, they never go to church.
No religion, too?
Hard to imagine.
Well, it's easy if you try, Dick.
I mean, it was just genius the way they were able to do that so seamlessly. And even the just effects when he's at the Washington Mall and he makes a statement about Jenny. She yells from the mall and she was running across the water. I mean, some of the scenes, obviously, special effects is how they did it, but just unbelievable. And of course, a lot of the success, besides Robert Zemeckis' brilliant direction, has to go to, of course, Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks makes Forrest Gump one of the most likable, rootable characters in film history.
Since people still needed them shrimps for shrimp cocktails and barbecues and all, we were the only boat left standing. Bubba Gump shrimp's what they got. We got a whole bunch of boats, 12 Jennies, big old warehouse. We even have hats that say Bubba Gump on them. Bubba Gump Shrimp. It's a household name.
Hold on there, boy. Are you telling me you're the owner of the Bubba Gump Shrimp Corporation?
Yes, sir. We got more money than Davy Crockett.
We all know he doesn't have a high IQ, but we don't care. We will follow him anywhere. Hanks plays this role to perfection.
She spins on gas.
Done, Drill Sergeant?
Go! Why did you put that weapon together so quickly, Gump?
You told me to, Drill Sergeant.
Jesus H. Christ. This is a new company record. If it wouldn't be a waste of such a damn fine enlisted men, I'd recommend you for OCS, Private Gump. You are going to be a general someday, Gump. Now, disassemble your weapon and continue.
He could have screwed this up, basically, because there's a lot of times when an actor plays a character like this with a low IQ or he's not very intelligent, and, he can be very ignorant or stupid.
Are you crazy? Or just plain stupid?
Stupid is, stupid does, Mrs. Blue.
Most people love this movie. It was the biggest box office smash of 1994, just beating out The Lion King in terms of the most amount of money made by a film in 1994. For good reason, because people kept on going back to see this movie, and it was very, very popular.
Now me, I was scared. But Lieutenant Dan, he was mad.
You call this a storm? Oh, you son of a b****! Oh! It's time for a showdown! You and me! I'm right here! Come and get me! You'll never sink this boat!
Now, another great thing about the film, of course, it was the soundtrack. And it's got some great, great classics. Similar to the success of Saturday Night Fever or even Grease. The only difference is Saturday Night Fever and Grease had a lot of original music in their soundtrack. This film does not, except for the Forrest Gump Suite, which, by the way, is one of the greatest theme songs to a movie ever made. Every time I hear the Forrest Gump Suite, I want to cry because it just really affects me emotionally. The film is really bittersweet in a lot of places because to me the movie is not just about his journey, it's about our journey, the journey of this country. Sometimes before you move forward, you got to look back and just kind of go, that part when he's running and he's jogging, every day and running, and he finally stops and he realizes that was his way of dealing with things. It was to jog and I guess thinking about the past, and now he was ready to move forward. And I think this country has been through a lot. We have a lot of scar tissue even to this day from the history of this great country that we live in. And I think this film is kind of a catharsis in some ways of looking back at our history, at least for the past 30 years, and to analyze it. And I think that's the kind of way I look at the film when I watch it now. Now, ultimately, at the end, too, the bittersweet part comes from the fact that Forrest, like I said, all he wants is Jenny. And when he finally gets her at the end, it's short-lived. We find out she's sick.
I wish I could have been there with you.
You were.
I love you.
There's a very, very bittersweet moment at the end of the film on the final shot. And of course, the feather, which starts in the beginning and represents kind of what his mother tried to teach him in Lieutenant Dan.
I don't know if Mama was right or if it's Lieutenant Dan. I don't know if we each have a destiny or if we're all just floating around accidental like on a breeze. Maybe it's both. Maybe both is happening at the same time.
I love that line because a lot of times I go through the same thing thinking, is it destiny when you wake up every day and things happen? Is it, is it God's plan for you, or is it just kind of a random thing, like a feather floating in the air, just randomly floating along? It's a wonderful, beautiful film in so many ways, but it's not a corny film, really. It really isn't when you think about it. There's moments of corniness, maybe, kind of like a Frank Capra movie, like A Wonderful Life. There's moments of sweetness, but when you really think about it, at the end, there's a lot of sadness in the film too. It balances both very, very well, because to be honest, that's what life is all about.
What's my destiny, Mom?
You're gonna have to figure that out for yourself. Same as everybody else. You are no different.
Your boy's different.
Stupid or something? Mama says stupid is as stupid does. And Jenny, I'm Forrest Gump.
She was my most special friend. My only friend.
The world will never seem the same once you've seen it through the eyes of Forrest Gump.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
As great as life is, and it is a wonderful life, there's also a lot of sadness in the lives that we lead. And that's really the trick, is to balance the two as we forge on. Go watch Forrest Gump. It's on my top 10 list of the greatest films ever made. And in the immortal words of the late, great Benny Hill, good night, viewers. Good night, all. We'll see you next time, and we'll see you at the movies.